Hello, dear listeners and English learning enthusiasts. Welcome to Podcast. I'm your host, Alex. Today, we're here to turn a brand new page in your English learning journey. As we all know, there are so many resources available for learning English today that we're practically swimming in an ocean of information. Apps, websites, books, YouTube channels. So why do most of us still struggle to achieve the fluency we desire? Today, we'll answer that question and talk about our all-in-one philosophy. There might be dozens of vocabulary apps, hundreds of grammar lesson videos, or countless reading practice sites at your fingertips. However, this abundance, paradoxically, often complicates our learning process. One app only teaches vocabulary, another focuses solely on grammar. The result? Disjointed pieces of information in our minds, unintegrated skills, and rapidly dwindling motivation. That's why we set out to put an end to this fragmentation. Main segment: why an all-in-one approach? The most crucial principle underlying our project is that English learning can never be reduced to a single component. Language is a whole. Its grammar, vocabulary, reading, listening, and speaking practices are intimately connected. If you neglect one, the others cannot fully develop. So what does our all-in-one approach mean? Integrated skills. Throughout this podcast series, we won't just memorize vocabulary. We'll learn how to use words in context alongside grammar rules. When analyzing a listening text, we'll also delve into new vocabulary and language structures within that text. This way, what you learn won't just remain information, but will transform into usable skills. Proven methods for retention, SRS, or spaced repetition system. We all tend to forget things after learning them. This is a natural way our brains work. However, scientific research shows that timely repetitions transfer information to long-term memory. That's why the vocabulary lessons and review sections in our podcast are designed according to the principles of the Spaced Repetition System, or SRS. Through this system, just as you start to forget a word or grammar rule, it will reappear, increasing the retention of that knowledge. No more saying, "I learned it, but forgot it." Contextual learning and real-world scenarios. Do you struggle to understand English texts, movies, or songs you encounter in daily life? The reason is often that isolated sentences in textbooks are disconnected from real-world context. In our podcast, just like in our mobile app, we'll learn through dialogues, short news clips, or stories taken from real life. You'll hear not only the dictionary definition of a word, but how it's used in different situations and with what intonation. This way, you won't just know English, you'll start to feel it. Micro-learning and flexibility. We all lead busy lives. We might not have time for long lessons. That's why each episode of our podcast is designed in short, digestible segments. Whether you're sipping your morning coffee, commuting to work, or taking a quick break, you can improve your English with 5 to 10-minute episodes. Small steps lead to big successes. Conclusion. We're with you on your English learning journey. Dear listeners, today we discussed why fragmentation is a problem in the English learning journey and how Podcast aims to solve this issue. Remember, learning English isn't a marathon. It's an enjoyable walk with the right tools and strategy. In our next episode, we'll dive into a specific topic, like example episode topic, unraveling the mystery of the article, or common verbs and phrasal verbs, and put what we learn immediately into practice. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe to Podcast, leave a review, and share it with your friends. We are always with you on your English learning journey. See you next week.